Alright, well, hello everyone. First time I'm doing something like this, so not really sure how it's going to go. But today I'm going to be talking about the new One D&D playtest. I haven't looked at it yet, but in case you want to find it, you can go to the D&D Beyond website. If you go to sources, the first one right here, One D&D playtest. I am in no way connected to D&D or even D&D Beyond. I'm just a guy who likes D&D who's making a video on it. So the new one is the Cleric and Revised Species. I believe it came out today. So let's take a look. I will not be watching the video. I'm just going to be looking at the PDF. So, okay. So let's see. Yep, Cleric class is available for playtesting. Alright, so they included the life domain subclass, as they have been including one subclass with each of the classes that have appeared. And then they're going to be talking about the Ardling, the Dragonborn, and the Goliath. And if you saw the D&D video that they uploaded on their YouTube channel, I believe it was yesterday, they talked about how the Ardling and the Dragonborn were the least approved races, or I believe they got less than 60% satisfaction. Maybe it was just less than 70. It looks like they're adding Goliath, which is not something we expected, because they said they would only be tackling the player's handbook. And then this is just the stuff that's already been talked about. Let's see. Parts of a class. I don't remember if this was something in the other ones. So yep, we have the experts already. And then we have the mages, priests, warriors. For some reason, we're only looking at the cleric today, not all of the priests. So we'll see why that is. See if they changed it a lot. All right. So cleric, actually, let's pull up player's handbook cleric right beside this. Just so that way we can kind of compare the two. Okay. Class group priest. Primary ability is wisdom. Draw from gods. Okay, let's see. Channel divinity and spellcasting. Okay, that's different already. It used to be that clerics got their subclass at first level, but it looks like they get it at third now, and that is in line with what D&D's been saying about trying to make everything more in line with one another, because whereas like warlocks, sorcerers, clerics all got their subclass at first level, classes such as wizards, druids didn't get them till later, so they're trying to just make it all together. Let's look at the spell level progression. 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4. 2. Still goes up to 9th. Get your first 9th at 17th. Everything looks pretty much the same. I could very well be missing something since this is my first look. Proficiency bonus levels. Alright, let's take a look. 1d8, yep, same thing. Wisdom and charisma. Persuasion, religion, or choose to. Oh, okay, right. So they tell you what you not should choose, but can, are what the most standard cleric would choose. So persuasion or religion, but then also history, insight, medicine, persuasion, or religion, all the same as the player's handbook. Simple weapon proficiency, yep. Or right, it's armor training, not still proficient in weapons. No tools, light meat, yep. All that looks the same so far. Chain shirt, holy symbol, mace, priest pack, shield, looks good. Minimum in 13, minimum in wisdom, at 13 for multi-classing. Okay. I'll just quickly read through this, see if there's anything new. Oh, this is actually the first class feature. Oh, okay. Channel divinity. You ability to channel divine energy directly from the outer planes, using that energy to fuel magical effects. You start with 2 such effects, Divine Spark and Turn Undead, each of which is described below. Each time you use your channel divinity, you choose which effect to create, and you gain additional effect options at higher levels in the class. So far, pretty similar, except Divine Spark was not something in the player's handbook. And also, You can get to Channel Divinity in the old Player's Handbook till 2nd level. You can use Channel Divinity a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Interesting, because if you were to even take levels in another class, your amount of times you can use your Channel Divinity would still go up. Saving throw, spell save DC, makes sense. Okay. I'm just making sure this is all the same. So yeah, you can actually use it more now because it wasn't until 6th level that you could use it twice, and then 3 times at 18th. So it looks like that's an improvement. Use it more times, and then if you multi-class, you can still use it more times. Let's see, Divine Spark as a magic action. Is that something we've seen before in the glossary? I'm not really sure. We'll have to take a look in a bit. You point your holy symbol at another creature you can see within 30 feet of you and focus divine energy at them. Roll a number of d8 equal to your proficiency bonus and add the rolls together. You either restore hit points to the creature equal to that total, or force that creature to make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes radiant damage equal to the total, and on a successful save, the creature takes half as much. Okay, interesting. Just a easy class way of either healing or damaging. D8, so that would go up to 6 D8s at 20th level, or whatever's before that, at 17th level. You can start with 2 D8. Not bad, from what I can see. Alright. As a magic action, you present your holy symbol and speak a prayer, censoring undead creatures. Each undead they can... Okay, interesting. So, the old wording was each undead that you can see... that can see or hear you within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. But here, it's just any undead within 30 feet. That does make it easier, because can undead hear? Can they see you? Is there a wall blocking you? Makes it a little more complicated. This simplifies it. If the creature fails saving throw, it is dazed. That is definitely a new term, since it's underlined, for 1 minute, or until it takes any damage, or you're incapacitated, or die. While dazed in this way, the only action, dash, action, and if it moves, it must end that move farther. Okay, makes sense. We'll have to see what dazed is at the end of this. This is 26 pages. So that'll be interesting. Spell casting. Prepared spells. Divine spell list. I'm not going to read through all of this because I'm assuming it's following the same. I'm not going to read it out, sorry. I might read through it. But I'm assuming it's the same as the way a ranger might work, or the new ranger in the expert classes. Yeah, it looks the same. Okay, Holy Order. This is something completely new. You have dedicated yourself to one of the following sacred roles, either on your own or as part of a religious order. Choose one of the following options. Protector. Trained for battle and you gain martial weapon proficiency and heavy armor training. Scholar, studying and teaching about lore of the gods and the multiverse, you gain proficiency in 2 of the following skills of your choice: Arcana, History, Nature, Persuasion, and Religion. Whenever you make an ability check using either skill, you gain a bonus to the check equal to your Wisdom modifier. Or Thaumaturge, delving deeper into your divine magical abilities, you can prepare an extra 0-level spell. Interesting, they're not calling it cantrips, but 0-level spell. From the divine spell list, see your spellcasting feature for more information on preparing the spells. In addition, you regain 1 expended use of your Channel Divinity whenever you finish a short rest. So that's interesting. I'm trying to see what's at 1st level. Divine Domain, spellcasting. Interesting how they're adding that at 2nd level. Because Cleric didn't really get much at 2nd level other than Channel Divinity and Divine Domain feature. Interesting. I mean, more customization is always welcome, and it doesn't seem to be too complicated. It's just 3 options. So Protector would be if you wanted to be more of a in the thick of it fighting cleric. Scholar is more of a studying cleric. I guess smarter would be a way to describe it. Thaumaturge, more magic, and spells are always nice. So yep. Scholar seems the weakest, but it does have some okay skills. I would say Persuasion is probably one of the better ones, depending on your game. Arcana and History could also be useful. I would say Thaumaturge, Protector are pretty good. Scholar might be a little bit below, but still not bad. Okay. Life Domain subclass. Other subclasses will appear in future Unearthed Arcana. Okay, so we'll check that at the end. 4th level feat, ability and score improvement feat, or another feat. As we expected, Smite Undead. You can cause your Turn Undead feature to smite the Undying. Whenever you use Turn Undead, you can roll a number of d8s equal to your proficiency bonus and add the rolls together. Each Undead that fails its saving throw against that use of Turn Undead takes radiant damage equal. Okay, interesting. So this is similar to... This is almost identical to the... wait... This, I'm confused. When you use your Turn Undead feature. Oh, so basically, the Smite Undead is combining Divine Spark with Turn Undead into kind of one action, magic action, I suppose. So it does damage and they're dazed. Interesting. Just a way to improve it. Now let's see, was there something? 5th level was Destroy Undead. I think I prefer this because the new version, because it was very difficult. If you were a long-time player, you might know what the CR of a creature is, and they would know if you should use your Destroy Undead, or Turn Undead, which would become Destroy Undead. But with this, you're just doing damage regardless. Class feature for 6th level. 7th level, Blessed Strikes. Divine Power infuses you in battle when a creature takes damage from one of your 0-level spells or your attacks with weapons. You can also deal 1d8 radiant damage to that creature. Once you deal this damage, you can't use this feature again until the start of your next turn. Okay, just sort of like a Divine Strike paladin ability, but for the Cleric, and also applies to cantrips. So interesting. Feat, 8th level, Holy Order. Your sacred duties have expanded, allowing you to choose a second option from. Interesting. I don't know if I would consider that really a 9th level ability, because none of these are particularly powerful. Maybe if there was like a Protector 2, Scholar 2, Thaumaturge 2, that was a little more powerful for 9th level. But, I mean, it still could be useful. Subclass feature at 10th. Divine Intervention. Is that the same? No, okay, so you're getting that a level later. In the Player's Handbook, you got it at 10th level. But now, you're getting it at 11th. See if it's the same. If you are equal to or lower than your clock roll, yep. 2d6 days, interesting. So it's now could be different, a different amount of time instead of just 7 days. Can't use. Otherwise, you can't use it again after you finish a long rest. Okay. If the intervention occurs. And notice it does not have the 20th level caveat where it would automatically work. I kind of like the 2d6 days, kind of. Doesn't just mean 7 days. It's not like you can plan something out. Like, if you know something's going to happen in 7 days, so you want to save it, you can be a little more risky with it. 12th level feat, 14th level subclass feature, 16th level feat. Oh, interesting. 18th level Greater Divine Intervention. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. They moved all of the 20th level abilities to 18th. So now automatically succeeds at 18th level, but you just can't use it for 2d4 days. Okay. So that could be 8 days or a minimum of 2. Alright, I like that. It's interesting. Tables have to see how it works being at an earlier level. It's 19th level feat, and then Epic Boon at 20th level. Spells that they suggest. Oh, it looks like Spiritual Weapon, Guidance, and Aid got changed a bit. Banishment, Resistance. Alright, the subclass. We'll go to the life domain so we can kind of compare the two. Okay. Third level domain spells. Connection to your divine domain ensures you always have certain spells ready. When you reach a cleric level specified in the life domain spells table, you thereafter always have this listed spells prepared. Okay, it seems to be the same thing. Spells don't kind of go, yep, cool. Okay, see what's different. Okay, Lesser Restoration, Prayer of Healing. Prayer of Healing was not an option in the Old Player's Handbook. Mass Healing Word. Okay, it looks like they changed a bunch of these. Revivify is still the same. Or of Life and Death Ward are new. Greater Restoration, Mass Cure Wounds. So very few are the same. These do feel a bit more life-like spells, whereas here, Bless, not a bad spell. Spiritual Weapon, not really a life spell. Beacon of Hope, sure. Guardian of Faith, not really. I'm trying to remember, are they taking any of these spells from Xanathar's or Tasha's? Don't really know. But those spells look good. Only thing to remember is you don't get spells at first level that you always know, like Bless and Cure Wounds are not here. So it would always be nice to have Cure Wounds. Of course, you can still prepare it, but it will take up one of your prepared spots. By life itself, when you have a spell, it's a creature regains additional hit points on your turn. You cast a spell 2 plus the spell's level. Is that the same? 2 plus the spell's level. So this feature comes online at 3rd instead of at 1st, like it used to. Still nice. And it doesn't look like each class is getting its own. Oh, never mind. I read this right here. So instead of being listed here in the name, same thing. Preserve life. My bad. I missed that. Looks to be similar, but not the same as an action. You extend your holy symbol using Channel Divinity. 5 times your cleric level. Choose any creature within 30 feet of you. Divide those hit points among the creatures. No more than half its hit point maximum. Okay, and the caveat that you can't use the feature on an undead or a construct is not there anymore. Pretty situational for those anyways, but right, seems about the same, but you are getting this at 6th level instead of 2nd. And I don't see any benefit for the 6th. It's like not improved in any way. Okay, still not a bad. I myself have never played a life cleric, or if I have, I didn't do it for long or past 1st level. So I'm not really sure how that would affect a game. Blessed Healer, instead of being at 6th, is now at 10th. Healing spells you cast on others heal you as well. When you cast a spell with a spell slot on another creature that restores hit points to it, you regain hit points equal to 2 plus the spell's level. Okay. And then let's see. Beginning at 6th level, healing you cast on others as well. Seems to be the same thing. You can kind of heal yourself. Divine Strike is not a ability, but then you get this earlier, Supreme Healing. When you would normally roll 1 or more dice to restore hit points to a creature with a spell that you cast with the spell slot, don't roll this dice for healing. Instead, use the highest number possible for each die. For example, instead of rolling 2d6 hit points to a creature with a spell, you restore 12. Pretty sure that's the same. Yep, and that's a pretty good ability. Just max healing. So if you were to say cast a 9th level Cure Wounds, automatic, we get healed everything. Alright, so now let's take a look at the species. Actually, you know what? I will pull up the old Ardling so we can take a look at the differences. Okay, Ardling. Okay, they are now connected to the Beastlands, whereas they just used to be the Upper Plains. I do know they were, because Ardlings were very similar to ASMR, however you want to say it, and people, not everyone loved that, but now it seems they're leaning more into the animalistic side of things, which I'm all for. Let's look at the traits. Humanoid, medium, or small when you select the race. 30 feet, 200 years on average. Special trait. Okay, so angelic flight is not something anymore. Yeah, so you are descended from a celestial animal. Choose one of the ancestry types below. Then choose one of the example animals listed for the ancestry, or a similar animal. You gain the benefits of that ancestry, and your head resembles the head of the chosen animal. Interesting idea. Instead of being a full, like the Heron, which are just rabbit people, you could just have the head of a dolphin. Wonder what that would look like, or a bear, or something like that. So let's see. Climber, which is a bear, cat, lizard, or squirrel. You have hooked claws, sharp nails, or a serpentine tail. Okay. As a result, you have a climb speed equal to your speed, and once per turn, when you deal damage with your unarmed strike to a target, you can increase the damage to that target by an amount equal to your proficiency bonus. Okay. Climbing speed, a little extra. Unarmed strike. Flyer, you have vestigial wings. As a result, when you fall at least 10 feet, you can use your reaction to safely glide downward, taking no damage from the fall. In addition, when you take the jump action, you can flap your wings to gain advantage on that action's ability check. Okay, Climber looks a little better, but Flyer's not bad. Racer, which is a deer, dog, horse, or triceratops. Interesting, they put a dinosaur in there, of course, which are part of D&D. When you take the dash action, your speed increases for that action. The increase equals 10 times your proficiency bonus. So at first level it would be 20, so you gain an extra 20, but then at 17th level, you gain 60 extra feet. So I'm just thinking of all the ways that Tabaxi had broken. Well, you wouldn't be a Tabaxi, you'd be a racer, an Ardling racer. So let's see. I believe so there you have a speed of 30, but that can be increased by monks. You can go really fast, that's all I know. I can't really do the math right now. Swimmer, crocodile, dolphin, frog, or shark. You can hold your breath for up to an hour at a time, and you have a swim speed equal to your speed. In addition, you have resistance to cold damage. Resistance always nice. Swim speed. Okay. These two, swimmer and climber, seem pretty similar, whereas flyer and racer are a little different. And then divine magic, because if I remember, they did have magic. Yes. You can innately channel minor divine magic. You know, the thaumaturgy cantrip, so it's not just the exalted anymore. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can replace that spell, with a different 0 level spell from the divine spell list. Spellcasting ability, intelligence, wisdom, or charisma, and then you have proficiency in the perception. So no more resistance to radiant damage. You only get resistance if you're a swimmer. Okay, I like the change, the idea of the change. Instead of just being a animal ASMR, you are like a whole different creature. And it seems like it could be fun to play. And getting any cantrip or I guess a 0 level spell from the divine spell list after a long rest. If you use it correctly, it could be very useful. Alright, so now on to the Dragonborn. Let's see, humanoid medium, 30 feet, 80 years on average, draconic ancestry, black acid, blue lightning. Okay, so it looks like it's only the metallic and the chromatic. The gem dragons that were in Fizzbands aren't there. Let's take a look. Breath weapon. When you take the attack action on your turn, you can replace. Okay, so they changed that back. Because the original player's handbook, you had to use your full attack, or full action, sorry, to use your breath weapon. Then in Fizzbands, they changed it to replacing an attack. So if you have the extra attack feature, you could just replace one of those. But then in this character Origins, they changed it back to an action, which I know many people were not happy about, but then changed it back to attack, which much better. Everything else looks the same. Is the scaling the same? Oh, interesting. So here it was 1d10 plus your character level. Here it is a d10 at first, 2d10, 3d10, 4d10. Number of times you will do proficiency bonus, same as I think it's always been. We're coming back on a long rest to make sense. Resistance to the damage that you choose when you choose your draconic ancestry type. Dark vision out to 60 feet. Draconic flight. Okay. That's new. Also, they don't have a language anymore. When you reach 5th level, you learn how to channel the magical energies of your draconic ancestry to give yourself temporary flight. As a bonus action, you sprout spectral rings on your back that last for 10 minutes, or until you're incapacitated, or until you're incapacitated, or you retract the wings as a bonus action. During that time, you have fly speed equal to your speed. Interesting that they don't say walking speed anymore. I think that's what keeps tripping me up. During that time, your wings appear to be made out of energy used by your breath weapon. You can't use the trait until you finish a long rest. Interesting. And then I don't think anything from Fizzbands had something like this. I think they're kind of just making Dragonborns a little more powerful because it is called Dungeons and Dragons, and I don't know many people who chose the player's handbook Dragonborn just because they felt a little underpowered and not as special as they could be. We have the Goliath, which is not something we had before, so there's nothing to really compare this to. Humanoid medium, 35, 80 years on average. Descended from the giants, use one of the following benefits: a supernatural boon from your ancestry. You can use the chosen benefit number times equal to your proficiency bonus and gain them all back. Oh boy, there's a bunch. Gain them all back on a long rest. So Cloud's Jaunt for the Cloud Giants. It's a bonus action. You can magically teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space you can see. Okay, teleportation, especially as a bonus action, is always nice. Fire's Burn, Fire Giant. When you hit a target with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can also deal 1d10 fire damage to that target. Okay. Frost Chill, Frost Giant. When you hit a target with an attack roll, deal damage to it. You can also deal 1d6 cold damage to that target and reduce its speed by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. Hill's Tumble, Hill Giant. When you hit a larger, smaller creature with an attack roll and deal damage to it, you can knock the target prone. Stone's Endurance, Stone Giant. When you take damage and you use your reaction, you can use your reaction to roll a d12, add your Constitution modifier to the number rolled, and reduce the damage back. I believe this is what the Stone's Endurance was always something. Oh, what is my mouse doing? Stone's Endurance was always something that Goliaths had, but now it's a special thing. Storm's Thunder, Storm Giant. When you take damage from a creature within 60 feet of you, you can use a reaction to 1d8 thunder damage to that creature. Okay. All seem like pretty good options. Frost Giant's might be a little situational. Teleportation's always nice. Extra damage is always nice. Extra damage in the reduced 10 feet could be useful if you need to slow someone down, but might just go for the better damage. Knocking someone prone, always good because then you can get advantage on attacks against them, as long as prone is still the same. Reducing damage and then dealing damage back is always good. It looks like 60 feet, so even if it was a ranged attack, you could cause thunder damage to them. They have large form. You gain the ability to supernaturally grow at 5th level. You become large if there's enough space. Lasts for 10 minutes. Advantage on strength checks. Speed increases by 10 feet. Okay. A little something to be more giant-like. Similar to the Rune Knight fighters ability that allows them to get bigger, but I believe there's a bit more that comes with the Rune Knight. And then powerful ability of advantage on any saving throw you make to end the grapple condition. Also counts as one size larger. When determining carrying capacity and weight, you can push, drag, or lift. Okay, seems like a pretty good race. I'm not disappointed by that in any way. Large forms leaves a little bit to be desired. Powerful build, just something they always add in there, but the giant ancestry don't look bad. Okay, feats. Any new feats? Yes, okay. Ability score and priest, they have in here again. One ability score. Oh, it looks like they just add repeatable in there instead of having it. Oh, oops. Looks like they add repeatable in there instead of just saying it in the prerequisite area. Okay, some epic boon. Epic boon of fate is you need to be 20th level and be in the mage or priest group. When another creature that you can see within 60 feet of you makes a d20 test, you can roll a d10 and apply the number rolled as a bonus or a penalty to the d20 roll. Once you use this benefit, you can't use it again until you roll initiative or finish a short rest or a long rest. That seems powerful. Every fight you would have this anytime you take a short or long rest. And it seems like there's no limit. Like, that seems pretty good. Epic boon of spell recall, prerequisite for 20th level mage or priest group. Cast any spell you have prepared without expending a spell slot, provided the spell is 5th level or lower. Once you do so, you can't use the benefit till you finish long rest. Alright, another spell. Wonder if you could upcast it to 5th level. Say if you took a 1st level cure wounds, could you upcast it to 5th level? I would imagine so. Epic boon of true sight. You have true sight out to a range of 60 feet. 20th level priest group. True sight is pretty good. Of course, it's an epic boon, so it's meant to be powerful. All those are pretty powerful. So let's head into the rules glossary. This has been covered. Aid is new though. Your spell bolsters the creatures, filling them with resolve. Choose up to 6 creatures within range. Each target gains 5 temporary hit points. Seems like a bit better. I'm not going to look at the whole spell list. Armor training. Artisan, so it looks like it's all the same. When you take the attack action, you can make one attack with a weapon or an unarmed strike. You can equip or unequip one weapon before or after each attack you make as part of Okay. Making things easier between switching weapons and not having to use a full action to put away a weapon, though I don't know how many people actually use that. That's the same rule. Attack roll. It's one of the 3 types. Yep. Banishment is changed. In what way? 4th level action, 30 feet. Concentration up to a minute. You send one creature that you can see within range to another plane of existence. Targets must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be transported to a harmless demi-plane for the duration. The target can willingly fail to save. While in the demi-plane, the target is incapacitated. At the end of each of its turn, the target can repeat the save, ending the spell on itself on a success. When the spell ends on the target, it reappears in the space it left, or in the nearest unoccupied space if that space is occupied. If the spell lasts on the target for 1 minute or 1 minute and the target is an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, or fiend, target doesn't return. So they are transported to a random location on a plane associated with the creature. Okay. Pretty similar, but originally I believe with banishment, if you banished a celestial, they would just go immediately back to their plane instead of having to wait the full minute. I believe, could be wrong about that, but all of this looks good. Bark skin we saw, climb speed, do 20 test, creature type, dash. Dazed, okay. While dazed, you experience the following effect. You can limited activity. You can move or take one action on your turn, not both. You also can't take a bonus action or a reaction. Interesting. Because that's very similar believe that's similar to some other ability. Can't think of what it is right now, however. Exhausted, we got guidance. We saw a new one of in the previous Unearthed Arcana. Influence, we saw hidden, we saw hide. Incapacitated, looks the same. Invisible. Long rest, move. Magic action. We take the magic action, you cast a spell. Okay. So it looks like they're combining just casting a spell using a magic item that requires. Okay. So magic action probably will be some way counterable. And they just need to give it a name. So that way it wasn't like, didn't have to list everything out. I know I'm skipping through a bunch of these. Feel free to look at these on your own. If you see anything interesting, let me know in the comments. Teleportation was changed, I believe. Teleportation is a special kind of magical transportation. If you teleport, you can disappear and reappear elsewhere instantly without moving through the intervening space. This transportation doesn't expend movement unless a rule tells you otherwise, and the teleportation never provokes opportunity attacks. Good clarification. I believe that was somewhere, but having it written out is nice. When you teleport, all the equipment you're wearing and carrying teleports with you. If you are touching another creature when you teleport, the creature doesn't teleport with you unless the teleportation affects it otherwise. If the destination space of your teleportation is occupied by another creature or blocked by a solid obstacle, you instead appear in the nearest unoccupied space of your choice. Description of the teleportation effect tells you if you must see the teleportation's destination. Seems the same, and we've reached the end. So yeah, looks good to me. Cleric doesn't seem to have gotten more or any less powerful. Just changed slightly. I like the changes. Let me know what you think, and yeah, I'll likely see you in another video sometime.